Around the world at starfm.com.gh, welcoming you and yours to Ghana's favorite breakfast show. We're live and active. Keep your thoughts and comments coming through. We'll be glad to share them with the rest of the world.
Radio. What does it even mean to you?
I mean, me reason I'm radio is me for like do I me enjoy nyom keke and nyom need some small information be on be from a new one and I mean me radio for.
Say me radio you want be a cost. Oh, we are seeing that.
The tea, you are saying some a war, your fencing, Omoki, our radios. Until I saw radios.
Godwin is a company driver and he wouldn't move a day without listening to radio in his vehicle. He tells us why.
Ebi amekobe kasuwa na so challenge so ayi kasuwa menko metimi adane me ho akofa baby fufuro bia se me ko keep cool scra metimi adane kwan man pe akofa alcohol no pe afa sisi akurasi kurasi a omo ni light po omo aziri so ya ma sorry omo tese de na ko so nti radio de abo apa.
And for the one behind the microphone every morning, what goes through his mind when he starts his radio day?
For me, the most important is people should leave the show with knowledge, with a new understanding of life, and 3, motivation to be able to go throughout the day doing better than they did the day before. So that's what drives me every morning when I sit down behind a microphone to speak to thousands and millions in Accra, in Ghana, in West Africa, in Africa, and around the world.
Today is World Radio Day, celebrated on the 13th of February each year. The day was first announced in 2011 by UNESCO member states, but was formally endorsed as an international day by the UN General Assembly in 2012, making it exactly 12 years since the celebration started. But why really must we celebrate World Radio Day?
For somebody who started on Radio Ghana at GBC, I think radio is still a trusted voice. Radio is still within reach. It's still a platform that at least doesn't cost you too much to own. It's still a platform that, it gives you a certain human feeling to whoever presenter or, so on the other end, it gives you the opportunity of the two-way communication. I know TV does its bit, but it's not everybody who is the TV kind of person. So for me, radio is still very, very relevant now. And globally, across Africa and Ghana, there's evidence to show that it is still, the most reachable platform.
I think World Radio Day is a good reflection for us as journalists to know how radio is being used to impact society. If you go to most of the rural areas, you realize that they don't have access to internet to be doing reading online or smartphones. TV is a problem, but most of them have radio because they are able to listen to information in their local languages.
The theme for the 2023 World Radio Day celebration is Radio and Peace. Well, it is generally believed that in executing one of radio's key responsibilities, which is to inform, opinions are shaped whether directly or indirectly, which makes radio an essential tool in ensuring peace or breeding conflict. But to what extent is a journalist or the radio presenter aware of this particular crucial role they play in society?
Peace is very crucial for us in our country. We have a few, maybe 2 years to our elections, and this is not a time for us to be engaging in maybe messages that will disintegrate society. I get worried, especially with the Boko issue. We should know how to even know what to report and what not to report. So journalists need to really upgrade themselves when it comes to reporting on conflict or peace. Because if you are not really trained about certain things, you don't know which words to use for what.
When this democracy started, especially in this Fourth Republic, there was the refrain that we would prefer a noisy press to a silent one. And there was a reason for that, because for a very long time, the wheel of censorship when it comes to media was very, very heavy and profound. However, 30 years after that liberation and pluralism that we're seeing today, there is a need for us to realign with the ethics of the profession. But that should not account to censorship. So be responsible in what you say, be fair to the facts. If you have to criticize, do it constructively. There's a difference between criticizing and insulting people. And I think for anyone who's a true professional, they know the difference. Those who are not professional, you will know that they are not professional. When they are doing things to please a certain narrative, you would see it. If they are doing things to fit a certain agenda, you will know it. But what is the truth? When it rings, you know. And to a true heart that understands the value of this craft of journalism, being responsible is one, being accountable is another, and being impactful through the power of your voice is equally important.
Let's get a bit personal, shall we? So where did this journey begin for these radio presenters?
I mean, I think it was in secondary school where we were having a normal random chat, and then we were like, guys, what do you think we should do? And then I said, let's start a pen club. Yeah, so 3 of us, everybody had interest in media. So we were like, okay, let's do it. So we went to, what's the name of this paper? The Spectator. Okay. We walked straight to the editors with our school uniform from Aquinas. Like, we want to write a column in the newspaper. And you know, it's a state institution, so they could not easily accept that. So they were like, oh, no, I mean, we can't give you that chance to do this. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So we went to Ghanaian Times from Spectator. Ghanaian Times was the same premises, same old story that we were given. Yeah, so we were moving. We saw one paper that was quite distinct in the newsstand. It was pink. It's called the Accra Mail. That's Arunate's Accra Mail. So I always give gratitude and thanks to Harunata. Anytime I'm granting interviews, I told him I will forever mention him. He gave us the opportunity, start a column. The very day we went there, he was like, no problem. When do you want to start? I said, we want to start now. Wow. And that was the first time I saw a digital camera. It's because he said, let me take you pictures so that I use it for the column. Mm-hmm. So he named it the Student Roundtable. Oh. Yeah, so we started writing columns.
My career started in Takrady in 2007 at Sky Power FM. That was for about 2 to 3 years, and I came to Accra. I joined Joy FM in 2012. I left in 2016, and I got here in 2017. So that's the trajectory. So give and take about 16 years. I always had a passion for journalism, not necessarily radio being the means, but I always had a passion for telling stories, for speaking to people, asking questions, getting to appreciate and understand things a bit better, and sharing the information with whoever I can find. So by the time I was done with secondary school, I had a big fight with my dad. He said I had to think of law, which is still something I think about today. But I said, I want to do journalism. And his argument was, how long before you can be able to clock a certain amount of money for the home? And I said, work is not all about the money. It's about impact as well. So it became a fight. But fast forward to now, bless his soul, he died in 2017. But bless his soul, he saw that it's a career worth pursuing. It pays bills. It gives people a reason to understand and appreciate what a democracy is. They get a chance to be educated, to be informed, to appreciate things beyond the literal, and to impact society in a more positive way.
Kent Mensah has been doing media for almost half of his lifetime, and for him, his vow to the job is till death do us part.
Yeah, okay, till I die.
You want to do media till you die?
Till I die. I think that I hear people say that it doesn't pay to do media stuff, but I always tell people that if you are doing journalism or media for money, then forget it. If you are doing media for fame, then forget it. Serve the people, the money and fame will follow.
Abigail Labiode is a former broadcaster who now works as a programs manager for the Media Foundation for West Africa on media and good governance. And on the occasion of World Radio Day, she urged journalists and radio presenters to be minded by the ethics of the profession they find themselves in.
For us at the foundation, we can only urge the media across the region. We wish them, especially those in the radio fraternity, we wish them very well. They should continue to keep up with their work, minded of the journalism profession, also minded that they have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility to ensure the democratic system in the region works. And so we wish everybody in the media well, especially those on radio, and let's use our platforms to preach peace.
Oh, and someone else has a message for radio presenters.
Presenters, I was like, like sometimes kasa, like any like kasa, like and you may wanna say adibi edema amansana kasa direct. Obitima kabako no ajai no ochosa no asen kabako no asen ajai. And also obonyo no stop it. Obeti kasa no asen abonti ema ade na utie no. Like you won't feel that the way our person will enjoy it, sir. And I say sometimes minimize kasa.
Reporting for MX24 News, my name is Ajwa Tenkrama Domina.